Yo, it's your boy Jesus Nice and the Kid Mero back again. We really are Jesus and Mero too. Like if you think about it, I'm a little darker, you're a little lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the light skinned Jesus and you're the dark skinned Mero.
Welcome back, everybody, to Not Jesus and Mero. It's Anything But Work with Shane and Caleb, where we do stupid riffs like that and talk about anything but our jobs.
And we're here. How you doing today, Shane?
I'm doing great. You know what else I'm doing, or I hope to be doing? I'm doing good. And by that I mean you should follow us on all of our social media pages, which should exist by the time you hear this episode. I'm gonna have the robot voice like inject the actual ads and stuff right here.
New socials gang. Find us on Instagram at ABW Podcast, no spaces, and for business inquiries or general mail, our email is theanythingbutworkpod@gmail.com.
Perfect, you're back. And you can listen to us and find us there and spread the love to all your friends, family, and enemies, because we don't discriminate here at Anything But Work.
Not at all.
Not at all. Friends, foes, bros.
Yes. And all the feedback that we've received so far and people letting us know that they've listened, we really, really, really do appreciate it.
It means the world to us.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love to hear what your favorite parts are, how you think Caleb's beard looked during the filming of this episode, all of that. We love it. So keep that up. Remember to share. Remember to show love. Remember to drink water. And remember to make time for anything but work.
Yep.
So Caleb, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. This week has been a lot better than the last one.
How's what's up?
A little less busy. A little bit more going on. Got to see some friends. And now I'm here.
Yeah.
Ready to record another episode. So
ready to make another hit.
Couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah, anything but work and nothing but classics. You already know how it goes. You already know. So yeah, similarly, I had to make a trip. I went back to my hometown, which is really interesting. It was a bit of a bittersweet moment. I wasn't exactly there for, the best of times, as it were, but it was a great time. I'm really glad I was able to go. Now I'm back, ready to make another classic. So first off, I think we should address something we talked about last episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. For sure.
It has to be addressed.
It has to be addressed. Look, Chuck and Larry is trash.
It's not a good movie.
We did some reading and we kind of forgot how really fucked up that whole movie is.
Yeah.
Yeah, real homophobic shit. I forgot all about the yellow face.
And not to mention all the slurs.
Yeah, casual F-bombs.
Yeah, in the way they treated the son.
Yeah, but I completely forgot that Kevin James' son in that movie was portrayed to be gay, and the way they really demonize him for that. It's not cool.
No, that's not cool at all.
Yeah, it's Gay Panic, the movie, and
we're not here to support that.
We're not fucking with that. So yeah, just wanted to address that. Again, I'd say we got canceled, but cancel culture doesn't exist, and this is the third episode of the show. I just feel
that would be so bad if we got canceled after 2 episodes.
Bro, I mean, it would probably hurt a lot more than 30 people listen to this.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what? If we ever get to like 3 million people listening, then they can listen to episode 3 and know that we seriously wanted to address it.
And we made it through.
Yeah, and we made it through, So we just had to put that out there. It's really important. Not okay. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Sincerely.
Happy Pride.
We're still out here in June. By the way, this episode was recorded June 17th, 2021. Apparently it's important to do that. I don't know.
Actually, sometime next week is the day. Is it called summer solstice?
Yeah, that's the longest day. The longest day of the year.
Longest day of the year. And then it's winter.
Well, no, that's not how it works. You keep skipping time. Last episode, it was like, then it's Saturday, then it's Monday. No, it's not. It's not winter. Then it's summer. Summer begins. We peak with the length of the day where the sun is up, and then from that point,
I just love when the sun is up all day.
Oh, me too, dude.
It
When
feels
it's
so good.
8:30
It
and the
feels so
sun is
good.
still right there, mwah, chef's kiss. Beautiful. I live for that. No, seriously.
I believe you. Nah, I feel the same way.
Shit slaps. Shit slaps. Speaking of slaps, and this week, Juneteenth.
What was that transition?
It was not a transition, honestly. I should have pulled like an Anthony Fantano because I feel like his transitions are always like clean as hell. You know, he transitions like he always goes tran and then it like cuts to another hymn. It's like Zishin. It's like, did you like the video? I don't know why I'm trying to imitate Anthony Fantano.
I actually don't like Anthony Fantano.
Well, why not?
I just he seems so pretentious to me. Like at the end of every review, he's just like, yeah, it was okay. Like I give it a strong 4.
It's a strong 5.
Like, okay.
Well, was he wrong about the big day though?
I mean, like Anthony Fantano is not the person that I'm going to hear a review on like Culture 3.
That's fair. That's fair.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
His opinion it's not there.
It's not valid.
No.
No one cares what you think, Anthony. Melonhead, whatever you're calling yourself these days. No one cares what you think. Light 7 my ass. Did he give like damn a 6?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Man's a big hater. Like he's a big hater.
I do have a bit of respect for him in terms of like I've learned about a lot of cool music through him. But yeah, most of the things that I've liked he's reviewed very poorly. I don't understand why. What's up with that, Anthony? No, sir, a 6? Sheesh. Like, no, come on.
Yeah,
it's better than that.
Anthony Fantano, we want all the smoke.
Yeah, actually, I want to catch hands with Anthony
hit my
Fantano,
line.
bro.
We'll debate. We can debate about anything.
We're starting beef.
This is the beef start, right?
This is the
everyone tag
Anthony Fantano in the comments.
In the comments.
Everybody tag Anthony Fantano. We're gonna fight.
Let him know I got these hands ready.
Caleb's got the smoke.
And they work. And they work.
They're gonna listen to a Fiona album.
It ain't no album together. Not Logan Paul out here.
It's real life.
You'll hit the mat.
Real knockout. Real. Bro, I didn't realize you had this much smoke for YouTube reviewers.
I mean, I've watched a lot of YouTube reviews.
Have you watched Sean C?
I like Sean C.
Sean C is great. I love that dude.
I like Sean C.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched Big Quint?
Yeah, Big Quint, indeed.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you put me onto him. I'm pretty sure you put me onto him.
I don't think he really reviews anymore, but he has the best. He has the best ones.
Oh, for sure.
He's just vibing.
He's got a lot of personality.
Ultra vibes.
Oh, did you hear about the new Tyler album dropping the 28th? Apparently, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know he has the whole rollout going already and stuff like that.
Yeah,
he just dropped a song or a couple, right?
It was like one song, I think. I want to be honest. I heard part of it. It's a little underwhelmed.
You're not a fan?
It was no earthquake. It was no earthquake.
Well, you don't want to drop the earthquake first, right?
But he did drop the earthquake first. That's why I'm getting the comparison. He could have dropped, I expected an earthquake. And obviously, like, I'm not saying it needed to sound the same. I just think, like, earthquake was immediately like, oh, he's cooking.
All right, so, like, I feel like artists are so heavily criticized when like a subsequent album after dropping some like real heat, like Igor was a phenomenal album. It's really tough to live up to that. So if the quality of music isn't on that same level, but it's still great, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a failure or like this person fell off, like they're not relevant anymore. But those are the words that we associate people when they perform like that.
That's fair. I think most people are hyperbolic. Yeah. So it's just more fun to say like, oh, he's trash now, than to say that, oh, this is different from what I expected, and thus I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to say, oh, you're trash. Like,
no, that makes sense.
Tyler fell off. It's just more fun. And I say this is a very hyperbolic person. So,
like, Drake did not fall off.
Oh, he did, though.
Drake did fall off. From where, like, where did he fall to? He's still at the top. Artist of the decade.
Bro, okay, so listen. One topic I did want to put on the table was if Kevin Hart was funny. And I realized that I actually kind of ethered little dude already. Damn, I called him little dude. He's not going to fight me. This is fine.
You calling out Kevin Hart? Tag Kevin Hart.
Tag Kevin Hart in the comments because I want to let him know that he has 3 jokes, and all of them span from the fact that she's short. The first joke is that he's short. The second joke is that he's short and thus he's insecure about his masculinity. And then the third joke is that he's short, so he's insecure about his masculinity, and he cheated on his wife. Yeah, he takes it out on women. So the former insecure about his height gets taken out on other men, gay panic bullshit. And then the third is, whoa, what if my daughter's a hoe? Whoa, like, no, I'm serious. People have that dumb hypothetical, like, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? And I'm like, both, nigga.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you people? Yeah. What is really wrong with you?
Why are you so worried about your damn kids?
It's like the T.I. thing.
Bro, and listen, now that it's like out there that T.I. is like R. Kelly level creep, it's like all the warnings were right there.
Yeah.
They were right there.
Come on.
And then they try to rehabilitate him on Red Table Talk. Bro, come on now. Jada, you know better.
Why does Red Table Talk become like...
Bro, didn't they try
the place that everyone goes after it? Like, that's where when people get canceled, they go on the
Red Table. Bro, actually, we should keep going because we could have ended up on Red Table Talk.
I mean, Jada Red Table talked herself.
That's what I'm saying. I actually thought that was the first episode I ever watched. Because I was like, yeah, I gotta see this shit. What does she have to say?
But she was in an entanglement.
Bro, that was some predatory shit. He seemed like he was in a really sensitive place. And she really took advantage of that. That was not cool.
She made that man fall in love and broke Will Smith's heart at the same time.
Bro, Will Smith is fine. He was definitely hooking up with Margot Robbie like the whole time that it was going down.
Yeah.
I
but not publicly, though.
Well, not publicly. Yeah, now it's like, damn, like, now it's out there.
That's the thing. Like, if you whatever is going on in your household and you guys have agreed upon it, that's fine.
Right.
If they're in some sort of open relationship, which is what it seems like they're in, that's
totally fine.
But it's not fine if one person breaks those boundaries, whatever those boundaries may be, and it gets aired out publicly.
Yeah.
So I very much can see if I was in Will Smith's shoes, those
you were the Will Smith sad meme.
I would have been that meme for sure. And I don't want to hear any words about entanglement. Like, nah, you were wrong.
Yeah, she was really foul for that. That's where I'm at. She did not seem apologetic at all. But that's Red Table Talk. Like, did T.I. apologize? No, you don't have to, bro. It's rehabilitation. That's why they got a homegirl whose mom cheated for her to get into Stanford.
Oh,
or not Stanford.
Yeah.
USC.
Yeah.
Bro, you had to cheat to go to USC.
Okay, calm down.
I'm calming down. USC is a great school. USC is a great school. I'm just saying, like, did you really have to do all that? You're already rich. Just cheat the way that every other rich person does. Buy a building. That's so much easier. Instead of photoshopping crew photos, like, you have money. Your husband's on Shameless. They couldn't kill that show forever, dude. Like, he was just making money not doing shit. Like, I don't know, man. That's my take.
No, that's a fair take.
Yeah.
That's a very fair take.
Bro, man, forget Red Table Talk.
If you were to be a guest on the Red Table Talk, what would you talk about?
Bro, what I talk about? Actually, I know exactly what I would talk about with Jaden Smith and Willow.
Oh, well, what?
Which is like, guys, I understand that, like, some black people you may have encountered are like, oh, you guys like rock music or like crystals or like not wearing shoes, like you're whack for that. But I promise you, it's not that deep. I think I'm actually...
Wait, what are you talking about?
Because I think there's a lot of black people who grow up, and usually their exposure to other black people is kind of limited to their youth. Or like specific trauma about feeling like, oh, like I got picked on, like I got called an Oreo and stuff. Instead I was like white or whatever because I had these interests and like, like forget them. Like I'm cool anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's also, I guess it's not that deep.
Yeah.
Like I think being called an Oreo, like there are worse things that other black people could say to me. And at the end of the day, Like, I'm not saying they were like, oh, you shouldn't let that bother you. I think it shapes how a lot of people interact with other Black people, or they keep talking about that issue like it wasn't shit that happened in middle school. Yeah. So apparently, like, Willow was like in an interview, like, yeah, I got made fun of for like liking Black music, and I'm like, how many like average Black people have you been around in your life? No,
wait, she said she got made fun of for liking Black music.
No, sorry, rock music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
For like, but I mean, like, listen, every nigga I know loves Avril Lavigne. Like,
yeah, facts.
Bro, Paramore is the shit.
Paramore is pretty lit.
Paramore is lit as hell, dude. My music taste is like the least stereotypically Black thing you could imagine. I mean, obviously, I love hip hop.
I mean, we had "Call Me Maybe" was just the anthem.
"Call Me Maybe" is the anthem, bro. If I see you in the streets and "Call Me Maybe" comes on, I'm going off. Carly Rae Jepsen is high key underrated.
Oh, yeah. We're moshing to that song.
We're moshing. I'm throwing niggas. Like, I'm saying, like. Listen, like, there are probably way more Black people out there who are into the quote unquote niche, non acceptable shit that you're into. And I feel like some people get this weird complex where they're like, I'm different from other Black people. And then like they're like college aged and they don't want to interact with you. And it's weird.
Yeah, that is really weird. You gotta like stop bottling that shit up.
Go to therapy.
I mean, if you're. And not to say that like your feelings aren't valid,
but they're not.
But
valid.
Like, don't talk to those people. Like those are the assholes. They don't represent the entire Black community.
Yeah, and it's like it's not that deep. Like there are other Black people you will meet who are like super into the shit that you're still into, but they also don't have any insecurities about the fact that they're Black.
Yeah,
and it's because they found community with other Black people, other human beings who are into the shit that they're into, and that's fine.
Things change over time too. Like growing up, like if you watched anime, you were considered a weirdo.
Yeah, you were getting clowned.
But now it's like every Black person I know watches anime.
Bro. Shout out RDC World. Like, some of the most popular Black people on the internet.
That's actually those are my favorite content creators.
Easily, in like the world right RDC, now. Caleb City, King Vader, they're all like hilarious, and they're all the biggest weebs I can think of. Yeah, like they love that shit. So anime is cool now. So like, if you're still sweating how people flamed you for Naruto, that's the other thing is like people were like they hated me because I watched anime. No, they didn't. Everyone watched Dragon Ball. You were Naruto running in class, like you were eating.
Oh yeah. To be honest, if you were Naruto running on your way to class, you deserve to get flamed.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you doing?
Keep that shit to recess.
No, even in recess, what are you? Run like a normal person.
Right.
Run like a normal person.
It's easy. You don't even gotta put your arm like behind. You're not aerodynamic, bro. Like
no.
Come on. Yeah, so that's what I would say on Red Table Talk. I'd be like, Willow, Jaden, like you guys seem like really cool people, but I've heard you guys mention shit about regular Black people, and that's weird. Maybe it's because you're Scientologists. But,
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, I actually don't know if they are, but they definitely like know people who are.
Yeah.
So it's got to be some level of okayness with that weird cult. Shout out L. Ron Hubbard, the bastard.
Who's that
dude? He's the guy who started Scientology.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty sure his name is L. Ron Hubbard, which is like the funniest name ever, right? L. Ron? Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Yeah, that's a dude I would flame. I would flame a dude named L. Ron. And it's not like one word. It's L. Ron.
Hey, yo, tag L. Ron in the comments.
Tag L. Ron.
Let him know that.
Tag the Church of Scientology. We want all the smoke.
Tag every Scientologist that you know.
Every single one.
We're trying to throw hands.
Tom Cruise, hold on. I actually got to go easy on Tom Cruise because I'm a big fan of the Mission Impossible movies. And, obviously he's a Scientologist and is probably into some weird shit.
Yeah.
But I'm mad excited for the next
Top
two.
Gun? You ever watch Top Gun?
I actually have no interest in Top Gun.
You've never seen it, or you don't care?
Both.
Wait, you've never? Oh, okay.
I've never seen it, and I don't care to.
That's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I heard it's a good movie, but it's just planes.
But tag Tom Cruise too, because he's a Scientologist. So.
Yeah, I guess he's got to get the smoke too. How did we go? We literally went 20 minutes and did not talk about the first topic. That's the power of tangents, people. Because last episode, we almost went to the 2-hour mark. Bro, imagine we get this one done in 45 minutes.
That would be impressive. But clearly at this point, there's no way.
There's no way in hell. We have 3 topics this time. We're nowhere close.
All right, so yeah, Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, yeah. So Juneteenth, if you didn't know, dope ass holiday to celebrate the actual 100% speed run, any percent, not any percent, 100% completion run of slavery.
Wait, what did he say?
You know, like speed running.
A slavery speed run.
It's a slavery speed run.
What are you
Well, more like a slow run because they took their sweet time. If I was playing the slavery speed run, any percent, that shit would be done real quick. Matt Turner is getting all the cheat codes.
Oh, facts.
Yeah,
Big
bro.
facts.
No clip, cheats enabled, all of that. But yeah, Juneteenth was when they decided to let the slaves in Texas know that they've been free for like a year.
Yeah.
So, a year after the Emancipation Proclamation, which low-key didn't do shit until it had to be enforced in the January after it was announced, all that good stuff.
As someone growing up in Texas, like how are you taught about Juneteenth?
So I actually learned about Juneteenth through a play I saw in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
We had this thing called the Miller Outdoor Theater. So there's like this giant hill in Herman Park, like our Central Park. At the base of the hill is this giant theater. So people lay out all these blankets on top of the hill or on like the seats down there in the theater, and they do a lot of free plays. So they did a play about Juneteenth, and that's how I learned about it. So I was like, wow, this is pretty dope. And I mean, it started in Galveston, which is like an hour out from Houston. So feeling that connection with the holiday, it's been really cool to see it get more recognition. But on the other hand, it's kind of like, I saw a tweet today where so the whole point of this, Juneteenth is officially a national holiday.
Yeah.
Starting next year, which is some BS, because like
I want the day off.
It's this weekend.
This weekend.
Whack! You're so whack for that. But yeah, it's been signed into law.
Whack points.
Whack points.
I feel like we got to make that a thing. You know how the Breakfast Club, they have like the donkey of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Who's today's whack? So today's
Whack points.
We gotta start tallying up some whack points.
Whack points. How many whack points does America get?
I like we talked about Ryan Reynolds last time. I feel like he has at least 20 whack.
He has 20 whack points for getting married on a plantation, which you should never.
How much whack points does the United States get for taking 300 years to recognize Juneteenth?
Bro, getting married on a plantation is 20. This is an easy 20,000. This is an easy 20,000. Okay, America. Let me tell you. I'm writing this down in a notebook.
Yeah, America, you get 20,000 whack points.
America has 20,000
for slavery
whack points. Yep, they're the ones to beat. They're the ones to beat. And Ryan Reynolds has 20.
Yeah, he's in second place.
Who did we talk about episode 1 who got whack points?
I don't know if there was one.
I don't think so.
Off the top of my head,
Ray J has negative whack points.
Yeah, Ray J is the god.
Yeah, Ray J is negative 100 whack points. So he's that. To be clear, that means he's not whack.
That means he's that nigga.
He is that nigga. Shout out Raycons. Yo, actually, 3 episodes in, if we don't get a Raycon sponsorship, I'm actually gonna be big mad. It'll come. I'm hoping for it. No, like seriously, I would love that. I would love to spend less money on premium AirPods. Oh, that's the competitor's name. Messed up. Premium earbuds.
Yeah.
Fixed it. Clutched it. Please give us sponsorships. But Juneteenth, yeah. So it's a holiday now.
I actually, like growing up and being educated in Massachusetts, I had never even heard of Juneteenth until I was in high school.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy, but it wasn't something that we ever spoke about in the classroom. But also, like outside of the classroom, it's just not a thing that people really celebrate. At least in my hometown.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what it was until I was at Deerfield, and even at Deerfield, it's not like.
Yeah, I'm surprised you heard about it there.
Yeah, it's not like we're learning about Juneteenth at all.
No.
I think I probably just spoke about it with a couple of friends at some point. It was like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, definitely not a part of the curriculum. At least then. Who knows about now? I don't really care about what they do now. So that's that. But yeah, no, Juneteenth is pretty cool. Fun to celebrate. I guess, the nation got the memo. What's dumb about national holidays, though, is it's not like everyone's off, right?
Yeah.
The world doesn't stop. So most, quote-unquote, essential work continues. And as we know, the majority of people who suffer the consequences of being an essential worker in the United States are already marginalized. So, I mean, like most not most, a significant number of Black people are not going to actually enjoy the fact that Juneteenth is off.
No.
But if you work in a corporate office and you're white, like, you're most likely going to have the day to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, a delightful irony of a quote unquote national holiday.
Recognizing it. And also that's the other thing too. Like now that it's actually officially federally recognized as a holiday, that doesn't all of a sudden make it a valid day.
Oh yeah.
Or a day of celebration, right? Like this is something that people have been celebrating and speaking about for years.
For decades.
And they don't need decades. And like they don't need that permission or that sort of validation in order for it to be real.
Yeah, absolutely. You're definitely right about that. So it's just it's so interesting is all. I mean, it's like finally we have Juneteenth, but we also have laws being passed in states around the country that would literally ban teaching children why we celebrate it.
Yeah.
Such as in Florida, the ban on teaching critical race theory, which you literally will not encounter until college.
Yeah.
I know that's the truth because I did not encounter it until my junior year of college after I had been, and I went to like a PWI, supposedly creme de la creme of education and stuff. And no, like you're not just taught critical race theory by default.
And you learned that too because you sought it out, right?
It was a part of,
You concentrated in
Africana studies.
Like I never encountered that in any way, shape, or form in my education. And I also have been in quote unquote elite institutions for a very long time, and that's just not something that is ever spoken about.
Right.
Like, yes, we'll read W.E.B. Du Bois, and yes, we'll read what's the other guy's name that's always lined up? Oh, Booker T. Washington.
Oh, fuck Booker T.
Yeah. Yeah.
Booker T is actually so whack.
Yes, like we'll read them and, obviously Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, but really that's the extent of the quote unquote canon when it comes to Black literature and race.
Yeah, at least on like the surface level of academia for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's what's funny about it. Like, I didn't learn about one of the central tenets of critical race theory, what is the idea of whiteness as property, until I was writing about it for my thesis.
Whiteness is property?
Whiteness explicitly whiteness as a property interest. So it's basically that whiteness is something that you can sort of sociologically own if you're white, and that it comes with certain privileges regarding your ability to obtain property and the power within. So like literally like you have a better shot of buying land if you are white.
Yeah.
Like that's just, and that's the thing about critical race theory is it's just kind of common sense.
Yeah.
I'd say like the only claim that people could be like, oh, critical race theory is like not just saying something that is easily observable in the reality we live in is there's sort of like this tenet of it that assumes that racism is a perpetual part of the United States.
Yeah. So
it's just that you can't really like defeat it because it's pretty integral to the foundation of the nation. Yeah.
And I mean, and that's the thing with theories, right? Like that's, and by definition of the word, it's something that is proven.
Yeah, it's a framework to think about the world that is backed up by evidence.
There is clear evidence to back it up. If you put it in mathematical terms, like something is not a theory unless it is proven to be facts.
Right. Yeah.
To the extent of the information that we know today.
Yeah.
And so it's not just an observation; it's almost indisputable that. That being white will give you an advantage.
You get advantages
in many, 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 many ways.
Bro, okay, this is actually a good question. Would you, let's say there's a button you can press, and you press it, and you just like turn white. You're still you, but you're just white now. People recognize you as white.
Yeah.
All right. How long would you be white before you're? Because let's say you push the button. And then it like comes back up again, and you're only as white. You're only white until you push the button again, and then you can never like do it again.
Okay.
So how long are you going to be white if you're going to push the button at all?
That's a good question. So like for those who are listening and may not know, I am half white.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look white, like
No.
at all.
No.
I am like lighter skinned, and obviously like colorism is a very real thing, and I understand the privileges that come from that for myself.
Yeah.
So there's that there, but like I don't benefit from white privilege.
Yeah, he does not read as white. I'm looking at him. So
yeah. So if I could click that button, I mean, first of all, I would click the button, right? I feel like I have to test it out.
Yeah, I do it because it'd be funny.
Maybe I'll cross the street when the person is walking by and see if they clutch their purse harder or
Just
not.
No. Just walk in the corner store and be like, so am I gonna get followed?
Yeah. Let's see who's gonna actually hold the door for me. You know,
right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, go to the store, see if I get followed. And like this is one of those things that's been happening to me at this convenience store, like right across the street.
Or are you getting tracked?
Which is, and I don't know if this is like a normal thing, but this has never happened to me before. But when I try to check out and use my credit card, they ask to see my ID. That's
happened to me at the grocery store, like, but not this one I'm at now.
Yeah,
that's so interesting.
But like it was a rare occasion, right? Mm-hmm. It's not something that happens often.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like just something that they did, or like they do here.
Wow.
Or was it? Anyway.
A Wack point.
I would go to that store and see if I got ID'd if I pressed the button.
Bro, you know what's actually crazy? Right before you showed up, Jasmine and I went to the liquor store. She went to get some wine. You know, long day at work.
Mm-hmm. And you got some thought juice?
Yeah, I got some thought juice at the grocery store. Like a real nigga. Yeah. I get this shit indiscriminately. Yeah. Yeah, that's what we're drinking tonight. This episode is not sponsored by Rita's, apparently the name of this brand. They make lime Rita, strawberry Rita. In college, our peers called this thought juice. So, yeah, that's a fun fact.
Would you agree with the name?
I wouldn't disagree. Well, I guess in what term? What does it mean that I'm agreeing with the name? Does it mean that I'm agreeing with the name? One, first of all, there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a thought.
Nothing. No, there's nothing
at all.
Do you?
There's nothing wrong with that. So, be a thought, see a thought. I was trying to see what else wrong with that. I don't know. I didn't know you want to go. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. The whole point is it's perfectly okay to live your life however you want to live it. Yeah. So if you ever want to do it with this juice and it happens to be named after your proclivities, like, feel free. I mean, the shit's delicious. So
yeah, I love the juice. I'm not a thought personally, but it's a great juice.
Excellent juice. If you could define a drink with 8% alcohol by volume as juice,
it's a juice.
Mm-hmm. Where was I going with that?
Oh, so you went to the liquor store?
Yes, I went to the liquor store, and this dude and his brother comes in, and they're basically like, "Oh, like, can we get like this, like Hennessy or something that was like $50?"
Yeah.
And the woman asked for their ID.
Yeah.
And he's like, "So why are you asking for my ID?" And she's like, "Oh, I ask everybody." And he's like, "Nah." So basically, the dude got really offended that they were being asked.
Yeah.
It's like, my brother's 21, like, he's good for it. Like, you don't ask to everyone. And he was, like, yelling and shit. I'm just like, okay, bro, I'm just trying to get the Moscato in the back, like, in and out real easy. But he's viscerally upset. And, you know, I guess, I don't know who I was showing solidarity with by doing this. But when she asked for my card, I handed over my ID and my debit card. Because last time I went there, she did not ask for my ID. I've never been asked for my ID at this place, actually. And this dude probably looked...
Did he look younger?
I don't know. I could probably comfortably say he was close to our age.
But his brother looked a little younger?
His brother looked a little younger, but mostly because he was shorter.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like... I guess I had mixed feelings. And wherein it's like, usually I would immediately be like, okay, listen, black people are already punished for not having their IDs or whatever. But also, like, I live in a mostly black neighborhood. Like, I'm sure she's, like... helped, like, she literally just before, like, helped, like, 7 black people all in the place, like, get some drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to so easily assume it was necessarily he was being, like, inordinately punished.
Yeah.
But also, he looked close enough to my age where if I were her, I probably wouldn't have asked for his ID.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I was so, like, A liquor store is a unique case because you legally can't buy alcohol unless you are 21.
And New York is supposed to be very strict about this.
Yeah. So I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I mean, I don't want kids on the. I think it's a little different now. Like, I just don't want people like getting messed up on alcohol during. Yeah.
That's a little different.
I mean, besides me, but special occasions, I don't know. I thought having an ID probably would have been good for him in this situation.
Yeah.
But I also understand that there's a history of discrimination, so I just want to give space to that.
100%.
Yeah.
So what would you do if you pressed the white button?
Oh, so like how long would I be white?
Yeah.
I think what I would do, I don't know if it would be that different.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would probably just go to some places that I have felt less confident going into, which would be like really nice clothing stores.
Okay.
I mean, obviously becoming white wouldn't instantly change my financial situation, so
yeah,
I probably wouldn't buy anything. But I'd hope for the off chance I get a discount because I don't know, if I feel like I suddenly turned white, I assume my cuteness would carry over, and I feel like it would be a lot more.
Do you think that turned into a discount?
It could be. I'm cute. I'm cute. If I'm a cute black dude, I'd be if I'm a cute black person, I would be a hot white person because I feel like the standards are lower for white people.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
That's the way the world works.
I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I don't even know how we got from Juneteenth to any of that. Any of that at all. All that to say, happy Juneteenth, everyone.
Happy Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth.
Celebrate it with your family.
Yeah, you're probably hearing this after Juneteenth happened, so I hope it was fun for you.
I hope you celebrated it with your friends and family, or if not, stayed home.
Yeah.
Enjoyed your Saturday.
Took some time for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really great. Caleb, this next topic, just this animal question.
Yeah, should I talk about it?
You absolutely should.
The animal question.
The animal question.
Yeah. So, something I saw recently, people discussing, and just had me. There were just a couple of debates about animals in general.
Okay. In what respect?
And like if it was me and you versus a pit bull, like who would win? Like if it was. But by the way, as I frame this conversation, just know
no animals were harmed.
No animals were harmed in the making of the show. We do not support animals being harmed in any way, shape, or form.
What's that one football players? Yeah, Michael. This ain't Michael Vick out here.
No, it's no. Michael Vick did his time. He's reformed.
Can I just say, this is a weird side thing just related to Michael Vick. Have you ever read or seen Roots?
No.
Okay, so Roots was both a book by Alex Haley, the author, well, not author, but the transcriber, rather, of the autobiography of Malcolm X. Writes this book called Roots.
Mm-hmm.
Really popular. It becomes a miniseries on ABC. So it's basically, he retraces his genealogy way back to his ancestor, Kunta Kinte, who was kidnapped.
Yeah.
And, made into a slave in the States, and then Kunta's descendants. And so there's a section of the book about one of Kunta's descendants.
King Kunta.
Yeah, that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who, his name's Chicken George. And Chicken George's whole thing is that he eventually is trained to be like a cockfighter. So he makes roosters fight. They put little knives on the back of their feet, and they'll fuck each other up.
Mm-hmm.
I read Roots when I was 10 years old. And I got really into the Chicken George part.
Oh, you thought when they were talking about cockfights, you thought they were talking about something else?
No, I mean, in as much as I knew there were animals fighting,
okay.
But my mind went to yo, this is just like Pokemon.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. This is lit. So I was drawing pictures of chickens bleeding and fighting each other with knives on the back.
Oh, wow.
My teacher found it and was like, what the fuck is wrong with this kid?
You know, I've actually seen a cockfight before.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You have to tell me about that. What was it like?
This is like way back when I was in the DR, and like I was doing some sort of service trip with my school.
Oh, it's in high school, right?
Yeah, this was in high school, and we were building homes, in the countryside in the Dominican Republic, and out there, I mean, it was beautiful. The people were so hospitable. Just mangoes everywhere you looked. Like the kids used the mangoes as if they were baseballs.
Wow.
I loved it. I loved my time there. And everyone there thought I was Dominican, so as they do in New York City.
Right.
So, you know, I'm just used to that at this point. But basically there are just like animals that are walking around always. So you'll see chickens and roosters and cats and dogs and cows and like, you know, donkeys and goats and
old
stuff
McDonald's
like that.
Crew.
They're just kind of like walking around, like living their life, and that's kind of the reg. So but it turns out that what are cocks? Are cocks roosters?
They're roosters.
They're like male roosters, right?
Well, roosters are all male. The female rooster is a chicken.
Are you sure it's not a hen? What's a hen?
Oh yeah, I guess it would be a hen. You're right.
Yeah.
I was incorrect.
Yeah. So the roosters, they're like pretty aggressive animals in general. Like they really don't need to be encouraged to fight.
That's true.
They just will start like they encounter another rooster, like it's on sight. Like they'll start to throw hands. So, you know, if one rooster, there were a couple times where there were a few fights, honestly, and a couple times when one rooster would look at the other rooster along just the wrong way, and
just like, all right,
like everyone would get in a circle, and you know, like I imagine the equivalent to saying "world star" in Spanish, but
so this is hood cockfighting. This is not for this is amateur shit.
Yeah, no, there was no knives.
It's like Sharkeisha, no.
It was literally just like two roosters were like, "Hey yo, fuck you," and the other rooster was like, "Hey yo, fuck you too," and then
it's like
everyone gathered around and was like kind of rooting them on. And
it's
so
kind of dope.
I mean, like I said, no animals were harmed.
I'm just saying, part of me wants to see that. Sorry.
I mean, it's an experience. It's definitely an experience.
I love to see that. So, the animal question actually was not about cockfighting.
No, not at all.
No, that's my fault for bringing up the roots tangent.
The real question is, what is the strongest animal that you believe you can take on one-on-one
in a fight? Okay. Yeah. So I have to answer first.
We can throw out some candidates.
All right, let's throw out some candidates. We love throwing out candidates. Yeah. So I'm just gonna put a crazy one out there first and foremost. An ape.
Okay, no.
Well, you said strongest.
It's like
that we could take
as a candidate.
Well, I just want to put it out there as a candidate.
You think you could take an ape
first and foremost, no, I do not think I could take an ape out in a fight.
Okay,
but I do want to put it there on the list.
It could be a candidate, but we can have a discussion as to why you wouldn't win.
Yeah, no, I'd love to discuss why I would take that L. But let's put that out there. Caleb, you get one.
Yeah, I'll throw some out there. Like,
and let's not stay restricted to mammals. You know?
No, not restricted at all. Like any bird, I'm fucking a bird
up. Any bird?
Most birds.
Hey, a bald eagle would do some damage.
An eagle and a falcon, I'm staying away from. But if I'm being honest, like an ostrich, I'm taking you out.
Yo, ostrich is easy mode, bro.
Like that neck, that's such a big target for me.
You're gonna punch an ostrich in the throat?
Yes.
Yo, I heard ostrich meat is tasty too.
Oh, really?
I'd fight an ostrich.
Have you had it before?
Can't say I have. Feels illegal. Feels a little illegal. People definitely eat ostrich eggs as well.
That also sounds a little illegal too.
It right? Definitely sounds a little illegal. This is the Poacher podcast now. Whoops. Sorry, we're not actually interested in doing any of these things.
No.
This is purely for the sake of conversation.
And all the people that are like spending big bucks to go like, what like big game hunting.
Yeah,
or, like
you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and killing endangered species. species and
Yeah,
stuff
you
like
want
that.
ivory and shit. Wasn't Donald Trump Jr. was doing that shit?
Yeah, like you're actually trash people.
Yeah, fuck you.
All the people that are killing elephants and rhinos and stuff like that for
rhinos
their
the white rhinos are like basically functionally extinct now.
Yeah,
because of you assholes.
Also trash people. All the people that are killing sharks for their fins, for shark fin soup, and then throwing the rest of the shark back in the water.
I heard about that recently.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. Trash
people.
Yo, poachers, we want all the smoke. So you're gonna have to get in line behind Anthony Fantano.
Tag the poachers.
Tag the poachers in the comments. All the smoke. All of it.
So those are trash people. But if we were in the situation where, you know, if it's my life or this animal's life, right?
It's my life every time.
Sometimes you gotta pick your battles. So what are some of those battles that you know you're gonna win?
Let's put a lion in there.
A lion.
I'm crazy. Let's put a lion in there.
What kind of lion?
Oh,
like
maybe
a baby?
Before I say a lion.
A baby lion?
What are we equipped with? Can we get a battlefield?
I mean, no guns.
Okay, yeah, guns are cheating, but I assume other human tools are allowed.
Like what?
Do I get a spear? Do I get something to stab with?
I'll give you a spear.
That's fair. Okay.
I'll give you a spear. Okay, but no, that's two different questions because it's like, what do you think you can take on like bare hands, and then what do you think you can take on with a spear?
Okay, bare hands, I fight a monkey.
You think you could like how big?
Not a big monkey. Little monkey.
Like what are those animals in Madagascar?
Oh, lemur?
Yeah.
Bro, no question.
That's the biggest monkey you could take on.
King Julian, bro. Easy. I'd take out a lemur.
Oh yeah, penguins? Come on.
I'd take out Zabumafu. Yeah, we throw hands.
Zabumafu. Oh, that's an old name.
Any animal that's been on the wild Kratts. Hands. No, but yeah, I think not all monkeys, because there was that one monkey that ripped off a woman's face.
That's what I'm saying. And
yeah, so not that Harambe. Harambe is not a monkey; he's an ape. That's why I said apes first.
What's the difference,
bro? There's a big difference. You think Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong are the same kind of a different animal, but the same beast?
And an ape is just a big monkey.
I just feel like, you know. Genetically, that's a
monkey is just a little ape.
Yeah, it feels like a stretch. They're both primates, but I don't know. Bro, okay, actually, we'll finish the animal question, then I have a follow-up.
Okay.
So, I want you to name an animal that you think you could take in a fight, just straight up.
All right.
Forget the nominees.
Okay. The strongest, that's the thing, like the strongest is tough. Because then you have to line up the animals with other animals.
Yeah, because you have to think about their relative strength, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little tricky. Because, a monkey could tear off your face if you don't have hands.
Yeah.
I got hands. So I'd fight a monkey, and I feel like that's probably the strongest I could take.
All right, I'm going to take a kangaroo. I've seen videos of people, like, boxing with the kangaroo. I think I could take one.
It depends on the kangaroo.
I think I could take one.
Bro, they have like back claws. So I've seen a kangaroo in person. I went to Australia, visit my girlfriend while she was abroad there. We saw a bunch of kangaroos, and none of them were like the big ones that are like throwing hands like that.
Yeah.
They were little, but they have like these back foot claws that look like they could do some damage.
Nah.
I don't know if they would actually like be used as a weapon. I don't know how they fight. They just look a little scary to me.
I imagine it would be more hand, like, like me versus the kangaroo would be like the Mayweather Logan Paul fight. Like,
so who's Logan Paul?
He's Logan Paul. I'm piecing him up, and I'm having fun.
Hit after hit after hit. But then last week we gave Logan Paul the W.
Yeah, because Floyd Mayweather. I mean, that's a different story.
Is it because Floyd Mayweather has no money, as you accused last week?
So that's my choice. But what's the question you were going to pose?
I said primates, but I think I said prime ape by accident. Who's a Pokemon? So what's the strongest Pokemon you could take in a fight? Obviously, it's going off the ones you remember because there's like very close to 1,000 of them now, and I did not play the most recent game.
I mean, the reality is, like, if Pokemon existed in like the real world, like humans just wouldn't exist because
Who's gonna catch them? Us.
I mean, no, it's not. It's not only that. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go outside, and this squirrel right here can breathe fire, or like these mice that are running around in on the New York City subway can all shoot me with electricity now.
Yeah, they probably be getting their pizza a lot easier, huh?
Like, come on, I'm not gonna survive that.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid. You can fight a normal. I'd beat the shit out of Eevee.
Oh yeah, normal.
I'd feel bad about it.
That's just like a cat.
Yeah, it's
that's
a
like
regular cat. Just with some weird. They look a little weird, but you could beat their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd fight Pikachu. No, actually.
No, that's what I'm saying. You wouldn't. You
so
wouldn't.
Listen, let me think about. You know what? I'd fight a grass type.
Yeah, I would do that.
You can burn that shit.
But even then, they got some leaf blades. Like,
yeah, I mean, you get hurt. But like a water type, like Blastoise shooting some high pressure water at you would fuck you up. And I'm sorry, as a black person, I think just getting hit with a water hose of any kind would hurt my ancestors. So hard pass on fighting a water type. Fire type burns the electricity, getting electrocuted. Yeah. Poison type, like, are you fucking kidding me at this point? Dark type, them niggas bite. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'd fight a grass type.
If we're being honest, like, it's really just like the grass and the normals.
Yeah, high key. Everyone else is a little too crazy.
The bug types.
Maybe a fairy type. No, bug types. Have you seen Beedrill?
That's true. The bug types.
Beedrill's like 3 feet tall, and its hands are
that's
like.
What I'm saying,
bro.
And
cones.
that's the weaker one. That is a weaker.
That is a weaker bug type. Hard pass. Big ass fight. No, I'm not fighting a bug type in my life. Maybe Metapod. Be gross though.
Yeah. We have this vision that we're gonna catch them all, but the reality is
they're way too terrifying.
We would be the animals in that world.
Damn, they'd be catching us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yo, I caught a Dominican. It's like, no, bro, that's a Caleb. You're getting your types mixed.
That's a question. All right, this is a public service announcement. Like, is it? Stop asking people where they're from.
It is weird. It is weird.
It's weird. It's weird. I get that too much.
And it's like, especially like for me sometimes, it's like people are like, other black people are kind of like, yo, I know what country your ancestors are from. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. There's no fucking way. They're like, oh, you got a Nigerian nose. Or like, you know, you got this, there's something Ghanaian about you. It's like, you can, like, how good are you actually telling phenotypes apart based off nation? Because all national boundaries are arbitrary. Let's just put that out there.
No, and that's a good point, because it's like, I very much understand, like, you being proud of your heritage and celebrating that, right?
Which you should be.
What you 1000% should be. You have every right to do that. But sometimes some of the language and rhetoric surrounding those conversations are alienating for people who are just African American and like descendants of slaves and have absolutely no idea where their family could have possibly been from.
And it's specifically alienating when it's targeted at us. So I'm not saying like don't, like, obviously, like, all that pride and everything is wonderful.
Yeah.
It's more so when it's like, I want to tell you something about yourself.
Yes.
It's like, if I don't know that shit, I probably don't want to find out through your assumptions.
Yeah.
You know?
Or being confused when someone doesn't know where they are from.
I guess a lot, dude. Every black person in America has at one point dealt with somebody being like, oh, what's your family tree look like? And I'm like a stump. Like, it's literally cut off. Like, there's a point in which I just stopped knowing.
Yeah.
So, nah, it's weird.
It is a little weird.
It's a little weird.
Just calm that down. That's not like a party trick. It's not a party conversation. I don't want to have to explain myself every time we meet someone new.
Right. And, this is, we're talking about, other black people right there. But, we're giving some grace to that. White people especially, just stop.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially you guys. Just stop. Because you should fucking know better. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's like, oh, you track some back. Oh, it's like, oh, I would use my last name, but, it's not really mine. The slave master. So, You know, if I see another beard in the streets and they're white, I'm gonna be like, okay, hands. You know, y'all should know better. Y'all should know better. Get it together. Get it together.
So yeah, just stop that. Just stop that.
Stop that, please. But yeah, most Pokemon would definitely beat our asses.
Yeah, and most animals too.
Jesus, we're kind of. You know, I learned recently that the reason humans just kind of like beat all the hacks of other animals is that our endurance is just absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we will run
for a long time,
but for a really long time.
Not super fast.
But we don't have to be fast if we're consistent. We keep the pace.
Just tire everyone else out.
But, you know, it kind of takes some weight away from some of the other markers of other animals. Like, okay, like the peregrine falcon is like the fastest animal ever.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, bro, like, you can't keep that shit up. It's whack. Where's your stamina, dog? Like,
if I'm being honest, though, I'd rather be, like, very fast for a short burst amount of time.
Oh, yeah, because a cheetah would fuck me up.
Like, if I could run like a cheetah, that would be lit.
That would be lit. Bro, I was watching Tarzan recently for no real reason.
Like the animated?
Yeah. Well, what other kind is there?
Oh, Disney hasn't remade like a live action type.
Not yet. It's only a matter of time. But then people are going to be like, this is problematic because you gave Tarzan dreads. Okay, so if I just predicted that, we will re-release this clip if that ever actually becomes a point of controversy because it makes no sense.
If Tarzan, okay, wait. If they casted a Tarzan movie, the person that plays Tarzan would have to be a person of color, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Tarzan should be white. Tarzan needs to be white.
What do you mean?
Because listen, this is in a no-win situation, which is why I never think they're going to adapt.
They probably won't.
Like that.
Yeah,
they're in a no-win situation because obviously the movie's set in Africa, but if they cast Tarzan as a person of color, then they have played deliberately into the noble savage stereotype. They don't have the same protections as something like the Jungle Book, where Mowgli is obviously Indian.
Wait, what do you mean by noble savage?
Because the whole point of Tarzan is, at least in the Disney movie, right, is that he is a white guy raised by literal animals. He's a feral child.
Yeah.
But that, you know, his humanity has a degree of nobility that needs to be respected.
Yeah.
Right. So if Tarzan is suddenly a brown or black person, then you just got a nigga hanging out with apes. And as far as, you know, white colonists pulling up to Africa in the 1910s, 1920s, or whatever, showing up, they're going to be like, I see no difference between him and the animals that raised. Like, seriously.
Yeah,
like, it would be
fair. That's fair.
It would be weird. So Tarzan has to be white. I guess maybe they want to give him dreads, but then that would make sense. Like, he's literally never touched his hair in his life. Like, it would get matted up. And
he's probably real stinky. Jane's kind of a freak. That's her name, right?
Yeah, you're sure. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Jane freak, bro. Jane's freaky because
you know that man was
that boy
stinking.
Tarzan stink. That boy Tarzan stink. I also was watching the animated version and I'm like, okay, I guess they just want to keep his design clean. But why is he virtually hairless
and naked? Well, I understand the naked part.
Yeah, but the hairless part's a little confusing because his daddy definitely had like a crazy mustache. And this dude clearly doesn't if you figured out how to shave amongst apes who are covered in hair and are his normal, then I'm kind of like, so what's going on? Like,
I think that's where the humanity noble. How did you
noble savage?
Yeah, the noble savage thing.
Yeah, where it's like he has to still be presentable.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Clean shaven.
So I guess that's Tarzan and Floyd Mayweather both don't know how to read.
You think you could take Tarzan in a fight?
Absolutely. Have you seen him? Homie walks on his knuckles. Hell no. Hell no. I couldn't fight Tarzan.
What about us together? Who you think?
If both of us could fight Tarzan?
Yeah.
I think we could take Tarzan. No, that's not.
No, I think we're still getting.
No, I think we're still getting rocked. We're still getting rocked. Let me not. No, we'd still get rocked by Tarzan.
Yeah.
We would still get rocked by Tarzan. Yeah, that's easy. That's easy stuff. Tarzan still got them hands, and he built spears at the time, so he was ready for that action.
Yeah,
he was ready for that action.
Can we talk about that relationship between Tarzan and Jane for a second, though?
We should, because she's freaky as hell for that.
She is, but like, what's really going on there?
You ever think?
I feel like there's some sort of fetishization
on her part.
Not on her part, but just like in the movie in general, right?
He's the noble savage, dude. That's why he's hot. It's not just that he was, it's a feral child. It's that he is, rudimentary and simple, but, his masculinity is never in question.
Yeah.
So that's why he's got this animalistic attraction to Jane that's acceptable. Now, if he was a black dude raised by apes and he was fucking with Jane, then he would be a predator. But he's safe.
Super predator.
He would be a super predator, in the words of Hillary Clinton. Yeah, we ain't forget. Yeah, Bill Hillary be coming for you. We ain't forget. This ain't that kind of podcast.
No, not at all.
Not quite blue, no matter who. We pay attention.
No, I don't know. I feel like there's something weird about that relationship, and I can
tell it's really bothering you.
I can't put a finger on it, but it feels really fetishy to me.
I mean, it's also,
even though Tarzan is like a white person in the movie,
but it is fetishy.
It's still as if I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, I think I see where you're coming from. There's some kind of weird tension to the fact that she's attracted to him.
Yeah.
And I mean, he is a very childlike person in comparison to her, because he literally is a feral child.
Yeah.
Human socialization is something he does not know or understand fully.
Yeah.
So she does kind of take advantage of him in the sense that, it's his first time seeing another human and that he's attracted to.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
It's definitely weird.
It's really uncomfortable.
But I mean, the thing is, though, this is a dangerous path to go down, because if we started unpacking every Disney movie, we'd be here forever.
Yeah, because Aladdin is problematic. And it's the portrayal of Agrabah in Middle Eastern cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Even though Princess Jasmine is, probably the best Disney princess.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad you agree with me.
No, I agree. That's an easy one to agree with.
That's a really easy
I honestly don't even know who would compete.
Bro, it's no contest. Tiana, maybe.
I've never seen that one.
Oh, yeah, Princess and the Frog is...
right? Yeah.
Well, see, that's the other thing. She's a frog 3/4 of the movie. So, Tiana just gets disrespected. So she'd obviously be in, top number one if they didn't do her like that. But, yeah. No, but, Jasmine's the GOAT, bro.
Yeah.
Jasmine's
No, I'm not feeling Cinderella or Snow White.
Who? 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 Snow what?
What about Nala?
Nala does not count as a Disney princess.
No.
Well, I'm not gonna a lion, Caleb.
Okay.
Even though a bunch of people, apparently, there's so many people I know who said their sexual awakening was Simba in The Lion King.
Wait, what?
Bro, have you not heard this?
No.
Bro, it's a very popular thing that people say.
No way.
Yeah. His voice, man. He's got them little eyes.
That's weird. I'm sorry, that's just weird.
It's weird, but also like they were already slightly anthropomorphized in the animated version. It would be weird if people were like, Simba was my sexual awakening, and they're going off Donald Glover's Simba and the hyper real looking Lion King. Then it would be weird because you actually want to fuck a lion, and not like a Disney lion where it's like, technically it's not really a lion.
No, but maybe I just can't relate at all. So this just was blowing my mind. But like Furies, like
Furies, you mean furries?
Furries.
Let's get the pronunciation.
What is it?
It's furries. Yeah.
Versus what did I say?
You said Furies.
Okay.
Furies. Like the Greek.
Oh yeah. So furries.
No, in mad respect to the furry community, bro. I'm not gonna yuck your yum. It's not my yum for sure. But like, if you're into that shit,
that's kind of that's weird, bro.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sorry, but
you don't have to apologize. It's definitely not
being sexually attracted to animals. That's not it.
Well, if they're attracted to animals, that's like, sub bestiality. They're attracted to furries, which it's an anthropomorphized animal, so it's not real in the same way.
Maybe.
I mean, if you're like specifically like, oh, Simba and Nala as portrayed in The Lion King.
Wait, were the Animorph books? Do you remember them?
Those, if you're attracted to an animal, you're furry.
But did the Animorph books birth the furry community?
No, and they probably rose up around the same time, but I don't think they're entirely related.
How do you know anything about furry?
Listen, I've been on the internet a long time. I've been on the internet a long time, and I've seen a lot of things. I'm familiar.
What do you know?
I'm familiar. One, I think a furry is the greatest fighting game competitor of all time.
Oh yeah!
Shout out Sonic Fox.
Yeah, he's dope.
They're amazing. They go by they them pronouns.
Oh, they is a great person.
Yeah, they are an amazing player. They're amazing. Huge fan. They made me want to get into fighting games. I want to start playing Skullgirls. So I feel like it's a game that just I would rock with.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, they're dope. So yeah, I think furries, often are really cool people. Now there are some weirdo furries, like the Trump supporters, like super far right, and I'm like, bro, how are you a Nazi and a furry? Like, I don't know. I just feel like if Hitler were alive, if Hitler were alive, they probably wouldn't fuck with you. So I don't understand.
Yes.
What we're doing here. But otherwise, most furries are just regular people, except they're furries.
Okay, maybe maybe I'm just having an ignorant moment here. I need to meet more.
Ignorant moment. I actually haven't met a furry.
Whack points
to myself.
Caleb gets whack.
I give myself 2 whack points.
I'm gonna give you 4. Let's make that 6.
I'll take 6 whack points. Get myself on the board.
Yeah, Caleb's on the board now. Caleb has 6 whack points. Writing that down right now.
Do we both get whack points for the Chuck and Larry conversation?
Absolutely. That's like 10. So really, okay, Caleb has 16 and I have 10 whack points.
All right, I got some 16 whack points.
Okay. Keep the tally going. Okay, I'm done writing it. No, go ahead, get your points.
No, because I don't want to keep talking about furries because I feel
you brought it up.
No, I'm like, I know I'm uneducated on this topic, but I'm like, I see these people walking around with tails and masks on. I'm like, yo, what the hell is
the fursuits?
Yes.
I always wonder how sweaty those are.
Like that has to stink, right?
Yeah.
Do they wash those things?
They have to. Come on.
And like, where is the tail like plugged in?
It's not plugged into anything. That's so presumptuous. You don't know. I mean, listen.
How does it stay?
If you are walking around, you see someone with a tail, and it happens to be plugged into their butt, they're doing too much. In public, like, come on, that's not cool. If that's what you're into, sure. But like, you putting other people through that it's a lot. But I assume most people do not have their tails plugged in, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you think so?
I think so. I would in the comments tag someone who's a furry and ask them.
We want to
let them know it's coming from Caleb. Let them know that Shane is not assuming this at all, so he's not asking this question. Caleb wants to know where the tails are plugged in.
Yeah, and let them know that if I'm most likely completely wrong, and I'm okay with that. I want to be educated.
He's very okay.
If you want to come onto the podcast and speak to us about your culture, please let us know.
Oh my God! So if we weren't canceled last episode, this episode just might be it. This episode might do it. Sheesh.
What else?
Next topic. Next. Rap content.
Okay.
So this is a conversation that Jasmine let us know is about. Oh, so listen, Jasmine's low-key the GOAT for like.
Who is Jasmine, by the way?
Jasmine's my girlfriend.
Okay.
I keep talking about. She's low-key the GOAT for coming up with topics because like 20 minutes before we record an episode, she's always like, "So like, what are the topics this week?" And we're always like, "Oh shit!" Like,
there are none.
Yeah, there are none. There are none. So shout out to her. There was a conversation on Twitter. Megan The Stallion. Shout out Houston. Hey.
Mm-hmm.
She released a song called Thought Shit. Not Thought Juice, but Thought Shit. And people were sort of talking about how Meg's getting like repetitive. You know, she's always talking about like, you know, the same thing. You know, very limited subject matter. People were saying, oh, Meg's on the way out. And how that sort of ties into this general consensus that there can basically only be one woman who's rapping at one time before everyone's attention has to divert.
Yeah.
So Caleb, what are your thoughts on that? Is Meg The Stallion repetitive? Is that like a truthism about rap and hip hop and how we look at women in the game?
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I feel like when discussing these topics, like things, it's the way the conversation usually goes. It's like it has to be one thing or the other. Like Meg is repetitive, but like rap in general isn't, or like, you know, like the reality is like both things can be true and both things are probably true. Where Meg can be repetitive, but also like rap was born in the 70s, and since then they've been talking about women, drugs, and flaunting their wealth the entirety of that 50-year, 40-year span.
Yeah, it's been a pretty consistent set of themes.
And so I think Meg gets a lot of that criticism. Cardi gets a lot of that criticism. City Girls, Sweetie, like a lot of people who are sort of in that boat and make similar music receive a lot of that criticism simply because they are women.
Yeah.
And, you know, like no one is talking about Future saying, oh, he's so repetitive, all he does is talk about sipping lean and like being toxic. Even though that is what he talks about in every single song. And people still get hyped for it and are waiting for it. If Future drops something right now, I would go listen to it.
That's true. I would literally stop the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is sort of this undue criticism, I think, where it's like, okay, like when are people allowed to slack a little bit? If this is even slacking, right? Because I saw the Thought Shit music video. My only complaint is less about the content and more about, you know, the fact that Meg has like one dancer who's like a cop. And it seems like the whole theme is about like all the people like dancing and twerking in it are essentially essential workers. So you have waitresses at a diner, you have people working at a grocery store, and, you know, cops aren't essential workers. I usually preface these things with hot take, but that's just the truth. They're not. So everyone in the comments is like, oh, yo, the cop killed it. And I'm like, no. that cop kills people. Or, you know, 40% likely to beat their spouse. So no, I don't give a fuck if she's twerking on the highway. I don't fuck with her.
A cab, baby.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my only complaint. Otherwise, I mean, like, you know, song's all right. I don't know if I'd go back and listen to it because I was talking recently with people and it's kind of like, do you listen to Meg The Stallion like on your own, or is this like something you put on at a party?
Yeah.
And that's kind of my vibe with most of her music, which there's nothing wrong with that.
Where you just listen to her at parties.
Yeah, like the function, it bangs.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like when I sit down and be like, oh, I gotta make time for, like, I didn't do that for her last album.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
So I listened to her last album the day it came out, and I remember listening to Savage for the first time before the Beyonce remix, and I was like, this song is fire. Like,
I binged.
It's actually like, this is a hit.
Binge.
And it blew up. But at least for me, when I listen to Meg, it definitely is in more social situations. Like that's not what I have in my rotation when I'm by myself and doing work or commuting and stuff like that. But just like going back to the repetition conversation, I think so much. There's only so much subject matter, in most artists tend to go through, before they run out. And the reality is, like, most artists by their second album, have already spoken about all of their life experiences.
This is true. Most artists do go through this because, like, there's some artists who like they go through something in their life, and thus like every album of theirs is really different.
Yeah,
but I'd say in rap and hip hop, a lot of the biggest names.
Yeah, because so much of like an artist's identity, at least in like the rap or hip hop space, comes from like coming from the struggle, and like a lot of their first album is almost like their like Magna Carta, because it's a compilation of all of those struggles and like what they've done to get out of it. It's like their life achievement.
Their thesis,
and this is what it has like surmounted to, and it's usually fire. But then after that,
some heat.
Like, are you going to keep talking about that now? Because we know you're not struggling.
Yeah, you made it very evident.
But now it's like, what are you going to speak about, and what are those unique experiences that you can continue to make interesting and relatable to your audience without fully repeating what you said the first time around?
Yeah, it does it seems to get trickier time after time. Because, I mean, even artists who I feel like have made a lot of stuff that I wasn't super into, they can surprise you later on and make something that's like good. Like, 2 Chainz did Rapper Go to the League, which I ended up writing about. It was either for a paper or there was part of it where I used it in my thesis. But, I mean, I thought it was pretty interesting in terms of how we think of rappers rapping about the come up. And just like trying to like find your way. And I felt like it wasn't that he was doing something that was necessarily new. I just thought it was pretty novel. So I enjoyed it. And so I feel like that's kind of what's up with Meg, or at least this accusation, because I do think it's mostly because she's a woman. I don't think people aren't saying the same shit about Culture 3.
Not at all.
Right. So,
and that's after a lot of albums.
Right. Because
this is Meg's like second album.
That's what I'm saying. Culture 2 is like, the Migos have been around for a while, and Culture 2 is their worst album.
Yeah.
Easily. So Culture 3, like, obviously there's nowhere to go but up, but also I don't think it's going to be hit with the same level of, while these guys are saying me, like, it's just going to do numbers and everyone's going to keep going.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. No, I don't think it's, like, terribly repetitive. I feel like I think you're right. Like, it's hard to move on thematically if not something big hasn't necessarily happened in your life, but also people are expecting new content, art from you based on your life.
Yeah.
So I know episode 1 we talked a lot about Rihanna and how she owes us an album, because she does, but also there might not have been that kind of inspiration to make a new collection of work that's really hit her yet.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that's valid to not want to rush that.
Yeah.
And make that come into existence without that kind of inspiration.
Yeah. There's definitely no rush for Rihanna.
Oh, she's vibing. Yeah. She's not worried about it.
She's not worried about it. It's not like she needs the money.
She really doesn't. it would just be for her own artistic expression, and probably the Fenty line of makeup and beauty products and clothing now.
And that other thing too is that, like, when people criticize certain music or artists, sometimes it's just, and this is kind of why when I brought up like Anthony Fantano earlier today too, and some of his criticism, because sometimes it's just like that music maybe just isn't made for you.
Nah. Might not be for you.
And that's you have to be like okay with that. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's like shitty music or lower quality. It's just that, like, it's not for you.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
It wasn't made with you in mind.
Not at all.
So your perspective, it might not necessarily really deeply add to what it's trying to say or what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. As much as, what something is trying to do is valid, Because, there's the whole idea of death of the author, right? Where it's like a creator makes something and then their input essentially dies as soon as it's released into the world, and then all that really matters is how it's interpreted.
Yeah.
So, some people have tried to do that with J.K. Rowling.
Wait, why?
Well, for
with
violent
Harry
reasons.
Potter?
Yeah, well, because J.K. Rowling is like a huge transphobe now.
Oh.
So, yeah, people are just kind of like, oh, yeah, fuck her. And J.K. Rowling does kind of suck because she's one of those authors who like just makes up shit about her books to make them seem like more woke than they were. Like, listen, Harry Potter is about like really, really, really like lily white people. And like, I think we can just accept that and let's not pretend that there were
there was that one black kid in Ravenclaw.
Bro, right? Stop. Yeah. Yeah, like let's not pretend like there was like a BSU at Hogwarts. Let's not pretend that there were like Jewish students of note at Hogwarts. Let's not pretend that there are any other Asian people besides the twins of Indian descent and Cho Chang. Which, like, even at 11, I was like, that sounds a little racist. Like, no. Like, she likes to pretend that. And then it's kind of like, oh, like, Dumbledore's gay. And I'm like, well, where does it say that? Yeah. It's not that I don't believe you. It's that if you're going to make that declaration, like, be brave enough to put it in the text. Yeah. So people have been kind of going death on the author on her. And they've been doing that to Notch, the creator of Minecraft. Oh, yeah, because he's also like a huge asshole. Really? Yeah. And then when it got bought by Microsoft, the joke is now that Minecraft was created by Hatsune Miku. If you've heard of her? No. So I'm explaining so much. Hatsune Miku is she has blue hair and she's a virtual pop idol. Okay. She's a Vocaloid is the word. Vocaloid. Yeah, so there's basically a set of like sounds that Hatsune Miku like sounds like, and then she can sing stuff. Okay. And so they're like, Hatsune Miku created Minecraft. Shout out to her. The internet is really weird. The internet is really weird. Yeah, the internet is super fucking weird. I don't know where we were going with that. Just like, definitely out there. Oh, yeah. Once the creator has put it out there, like they're basically irrelevant to the work, and the rest of it is in the hands of those who consume and interpret it. Yeah. No, I mean, that's definitely been a debate in many recent years. I think a lot of it was sparked by Kanye, and also a ton of it sparked by R. Kelly. Oh, true. But just separating the artist from the art. Mm-hmm. And is that okay? How do we process that as individuals? Right. When some of our favorite artists, or at least some of our favorite songs, were just made by genuinely shitty people. Awful people, yeah. Like I know personally, like I grew up with like Stepping in the Name of Love. Oh yeah. The remix to Ignition. And the remix to Ignition. I Believe I Can Fly. I haven't listened to either of those songs in years now. Yeah. Honestly, they keep getting stuck in my head randomly, so I'll be humming them and it's like, Shane, stop. And I'm like, oh, fuck. But it's like I'm not streaming it. Yeah. But also I'm like, I don't really want to go out of my way to enjoy it because my enjoyment is like actually tainted by R. Kelly's existence and the awful shit he's done. So it's not just that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to listen to this because whatever. It's like, no, like he's a trash human being and I can't not think about it listening to this. Yeah. If some people can, like some people are huge fans of Chris Brown. And like, I'm not. You're not there. Yeah, I'm not there. I don't think I'll ever be there. Like, I think he's trash. Yeah. So, my vision of separating the art from the artist is kind of like, if you can't do that, then it's absolutely your prerogative to not entertain this person's work. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So should we wrap it up?
I think we should, because honestly, I'm very impressed that this episode is staying under an hour and a half. I'm super, and I think we can definitely hold to that. So, Caleb, this episode 3. With the publishing of this episode, we will have officially beaten the original Anything But Work.
Yes, sir.
And we'll have claimed the name and title fully for ourselves.
Yes,
so,
sir.
It's a powerful moment. I'm very proud of us for getting this far. We really pump out one of these once a week.
Third time's the charm.
Third time is the charm.
Shortly after a recording, the podcast went on a 2-week hiatus. Way to jinx it, you guys.
Yeah, this is the opportunity to tell all your friends to check the podcast out.
Yes.
And like, sincerely, we really appreciate everyone who gives this a listen, gives this a shot. Like, this is definitely a great podcast to listen to while you're like working out.
Yeah. Going on
a walk about town.
Or doing anything but work.
Yes, especially when you're doing anything but your job. Mm-hmm. If anything, do this during your job. Don't tell your employers that we said this, but like, if you ever want to procrastinate, listen to two dudes just talk about the weirdest possible shit. I mean, Caleb brought up furries this week. Like, honestly, just give us a shot, share with your friends. Like, we love it. And hopefully by the time you listen to this one, our social medias will be around. Gonna let our robot voice insert that here.
Yes, sir.
Find us on Instagram at ABW Podcast, no spaces, and for business inquiries or general mail, our email is theanythingButWorkPod@gmail.com.
Lit. Okay, thank you, robot.
Shout out to her. We should come up with the name for the robot.
We really should. Okay, what kind of name do you have? The voice is feminine, so I don't necessarily want to assume that go by she, her pronouns.
Well, we'll have one by next podcast.
Next podcast, we'll name the robot.
Yeah.
But the robot will plug in important things that we forgot to say during the episode. Yeah. So, yeah, the next time you hear from us, we'll record on July 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And we'll, so I guess by July 15th, you'll get episode 4, which should be super exciting. Honestly, with that 2-week break, one thing I would love to do, so we'll post about this, is I think we should do like advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like we're going to have maybe like a Google form or something like that. We're going to collect, your problems, and we will try and solve them to the best of our ability. I believe our expertise speaks for itself.
Yeah, we're gonna start posing random questions out there, and you can respond to them.
Yeah,
in polls, whether that's on Instagram
or like whatever. We'll find
like you said, forums. Please participate.
Yeah, no, seriously, I want to hear your thoughts, and we'll like respond to anything.
Clearly,
some going on. Clearly, right? Anything going on with La Familia, like. If you just want to talk about life or just ask for some insight, you just want to say a random topic that you think you would love to hear from us and our insight on that, we'd love that.
Or if you want to let us know that we're trash, and
bro, if you tell us we're trash,
or one of our takes we're trash.
If you tell us we're trash, you have to tell us why we're trash.
Yeah.
No, seriously, if you tell us why we're trash, we'll respond to that. But if you just say we're trash, like we can't go off that.
Yeah.
That's whack. So yeah, that's episode 3. Caleb, what do you think the thumbnail for this is going to be? Last thumbnail, I was able to sneak like a plantation in there. We had Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I don't even know what thumbnail I would do for this. Probably a monkey.
Yeah, there'd be some sort of animal in there, cockfight.
Yeah. Some kind of monkey. Tarzan for sure. Yo, Tarzan and Jane are showing up, but I have like written over their faces like problematic? Question mark? Big red text. Are Tarzan and Jane a problematic couple?
They are, bro.
They're in the hot couple goals.
They are. I'm telling you, something weird is happening.
Something super weird is happening. Tarzan's must go crazy.
Oh my!
No, okay. I was thinking about this the whole time. Like,
oh my God.
Was Tarzan a virgin before he met Jane?
Oh,
just saying.
Is Tarzan a furry?
Tarzan. Share this episode with your friends. Maybe not your parents.
Oh God!
But definitely your friends, your foes. Let them know this is the bros. Anything but work with Shane and Caleb.
And I think we got it out.
We're out. Anything but work and nothing but classics. Let's go.